Chapter 3. This is stupid. Phil runs the way back to the forest, successfully hiding from Laughing Coffin. Fucking PvPers, all of them are scumbags. DSP says that he begins to rebuild his house, mumbling to himself about MMOs. After that, DSP went into hiding and killing low-level players, of course, in self-defense, and making his way up the floors in the game. After a long, boring adventure of DSP killing monsters and other players for their items/equipment and leveling to 95, he finally made it to the 74th floor. Phil walks into town. It's been a while since he's ever talked to anyone. He's barely even talked to Chad at this point. And of course he gets the same reaction. Is that the Forest Freak? Someone asked. I heard he has a higher kill than the entire of Laughing Coffin, another person says. Phil sighs. I killed those players in self-defense. They attacked me first. Phil shouts. Everyone jumps back from his shouting. Phil walks away from the crowd and is blocked by 3 people around level 70. You're not going anyone, Forest Freak. Wow, this is awful. You're not going anyone, Forest Freak. One of them shouts, your reign of terror ends here. Another one says, look, I just want to leave, alright, so get out of my way, Phil says. One of the players takes a swing at Phil. Phil gets hit, taking out a small amount of health from his HP. What? What level are you? The player asks. Level 95. Phil says and then attacks the player 1, shooting him with a purple dragon greatsword. Phil laughs. That was a fight, huh? Didn't even notice. Phil says to the other players back away in fear. You should stop while you can. A voice says from the crowd. Who the hell is that? Phil asks, looking around the crowd. I did. Someone dressed in black walks out of the crowd holding the elucidator in his hand. The crowd is in awe. Is that the Black Swordsman? Many people asked and were ready to see a fight. Phil looked at Kirito confused. Who the hell are you? Wait a second. Phil looks at Kirito, remembering his face. You're the one that stole my beta code! Phil screamed at him. Huh. Oh, you're that guy I flew over to America to mug. A man right next to Kirito in red armor looks at Kirito confused. You flew all the way to America just for a beta code? He asked. Yeah. Kirito responded. A girl in white and red armor also beside him, looks at him confused. But why, Kirito? The girl asked. I just really wanted the beta, Kirito said, shrugging. You scrawny piece of shit! Phil screams, lunging toward Kirito in the crowd. Kirito runs towards Phil. They both clash swords and engage a street fight. You picked a wrong time to mess with me, Phil says as he prepares a sword art kill. Kirito knocks him out of the animation. Phil gets slammed to the ground. Oh, come on, dude, I was fucking doing my skill! Phil gets up at high speed, hitting Kirito 3 times, taking out 50% of his HP, knocking Kirito straight into a wall. Damn, I hoped I could save this till the boss to look cool in front of Asuna, Kirito said, quickly opening up his menu. Phil runs towards Kirito with his great sword ready. This is for stealing my code! Ah! Phil screams. Kirito stands back up and pulls out another sword. Starburst Dream! Kirito unleashes a anal devastating booty blasting tushy pushy ass beating attack on DSP, knocking him down on the ground in his HP to 1. What the fuck? Come on, dude, that's fucking cheating! DSP says, trying to get up. You're going to jail, Forest Freak, Kirito says as the crowd cheers for his victory. What? I attacked those people in self-defense, Phil says. You have no proof that I killed people. The crowd stops cheering and realizes that it's true. We really don't know, do we? The girl in the red and white armor said. Kirito looks back at her. He had to have, though, Asuna. Why else would he attack first? Phil gets up and uses a potion. That's right. For the first time in history, Phil thinks of something smart to do and say, You all acted scared of me because of my crystal, right? You all thought I was going to kill you? Phil looks around at crowd. looks around the crowd. It was in self-defense. Those people attacked first. If there's anyone to be scared of, Phil points at Kirito. It's him! The crowd looks at Phil in confusion. What the hell are you talking about? Asuna asks. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. The man here openly admitted to mugging me. Phil burps halfway through his speech. Excuse me. Besides, me, the king of hate, he's the second strongest one, right? How do you get there so fast? The crowd begins to look at both Kirito and Phil, worried. And I'm not done here. No. He's dual-wielding in the game where he can only use one weapon. How did he do that? Phil asks the crowd. The crowd becomes louder, now questioning the hero they praise. He has fucking sword arts for it, too. Isn't that a little strange? Phil asks. Shut up! Kirito lunges at Phil, attempting to hit him. Phil gets hit, knocking him on the ground. This man speaks lies. I've helped people here, and I've helped clear floors. Why would I be dangerous? Phil looks at Kirito while laying on the floor in pain. You attacked first, okay? Kirito's eyes widen. He realizes that he attacked Phil out of anger. Kirito turns around. Everyone's sword is drawn at him, including Asuna and Klein's sword. No. Asuna. Klein. Kirito looks down at the floor, dropping his weapons. I can explain! Kirito begins to cry like the fucking man-child he is. Asuna begins to cry. How, Kirito? How you do it then? How did you do it then? Asuna says with her face completely covered in tears. I will. Alright, just give me the time to bring him. Kirito runs away back towards floor 74 on the search for someone to help explain. The crowd looks at Phil. So, he's our hero now? Someone asks. The crowd all stares at Phil. You guys need someone else right now? DSP said, asking nervously. Klein walks towards Phil, gives him a good look. You can help us, right? Klein asks. Sure, yeah, I can help. Chapter 4. Gotta insert the snort, because this is DSP. After Phil joins Knights of the Blood Oath, they all begin their journey to the 75th floor dungeon. While walking to the boss, Asuna is still crying from Kirito getting BTFO'd. Psst. Phil leans over to Klein. Why is she crying? Phil asks, sighing. She's still pretty sad that her boyfriend was a massive... I can't say that! Klein responds. Oh, Phil nods. The group stop outside the boss door. Phil completely ignores the speech, and he thinks to himself, oh, holy fuck, is this Heathcliff guy done yet? I just want to beat the boss so I can beat myself off. Phil thinks to himself. Alright, so that concludes today's motivation speech. We all ready? Heathcliff asks the guild. Yay, suffering, someone in the crowd says, but he was completely drowned out by Asuna's crying. The doors to the boss open and everyone rushes into the arena to be greeted by the Skull Reaper. Phil gets a good look at the monster and he shits his pants in both VR and IRL. Oh no, I don't want to imagine Phil shitting himself. Alright, Klein, you go first, buddy, Phil says nervously as he pushes Klein straight into the boss's view. Phil, what the fuck, man? Klein gets taken into the bone zone and fucking dies. Wow, dude, wasn't expecting that, Phil says, scared out of his mind. Phil continues with his new strategy, pushing other people into the Skull Reaper and attacking. After pushing about 14 people in, Phil pushes Heathcliff in. However, what the fuck? Phil asks. Phil watches as Heathcliff takes 0 damage. Heathcliff wrecks the boss in one shooting it like it was some candy wrapper on the side of the street. Heathcliff turns around and looks at the crowd. Well, I wish you hadn't seen that, Heathcliff says. Suddenly, Kirito bursts into the room. It's okay, Asuna, I've dealt with my angst and I found a reason why I have these skills and found a girl and she can be our child and fix our relic. Oh, the boss is dead, Kirito says. Suddenly, everyone is frozen in place except DSP and Heathcliff. Heathcliff turns to Phil and Kirito. Do you know how long I waited to have you two in the same room? Heathcliff asks. What, are you going to force us to do some gay shit or something? Phil asks. No, Phil, you are a very special player. A lot more than Kirito. Heathcliff explains Heathcliff begins to explain his motivations for this arc or something. You see, Kirito has the fastest reaction time, but you have something greater, Phil. Memes. Heathcliff says. What are you talking about? Kirito asks. You see, I expected you to come out on top, Kirito, be the one that would strike me down. But then, I saw you, Phil, the complete idiocy that you had. It had a certain energy. An energy that I had been researching all my life, Heathcliff says. And that is, Phil asks, memes. Heathcliff says, the DNA of the soul. I can use this power to officially become a god. Heathcliff walks towards Kirito. Phil, create a new meme. Kill this boy. Heathcliff asks, what, dude, don't? Phil looks at Kirito. You did take my code. Phil thinks about that option he has. It was just a code, dude. It's just a prank. Phil K. beheads Kirito. Kirito! Asuna screams at the top of her lungs like, wow, dude, there's like a million other dudes in the world. Good, Heathcliff says, readying his sword. Fight me, Phil. Heathcliff rushes towards Phil. Oh shit, dude! Phil puts up his great sword to block Heathcliff's attack. Phil and Heathcliff clash swords, trading hits, stabbing each other, and swapping spit in a Hell in a Cell death match until Phil lands the final blow. It's over, Heathcliff! Phil shouts, twisting his great sword, and Heathcliff. Heathcliff laughs at Phil. No, Phil, I can't die. Heathcliff pushes Phil off him and throws his sword at him. The legend never dies! Heathcliff begins to glow white as he groans in pain as his new transformation begins. Fog fills the room as everyone watches in horror as Heathcliff transforms. What the fuck are you? Phil asks. A deep voice laughs at Phil's. Giants, 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 become unstoppable. Chapter 5. Phil comes face to face with Legend. Oh, and by the way, at the beginning they have some weird note that says, watch, V equals blah 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 blah, place. Oh, guess I'm supposed to play a YouTube video. Phil comes face to face with Legend. Phil, behold the power of memes! Giant Dad explains. 48 vitality, 12 attunement, 66 endurance, 16 strength, 10 dexterity. Giant Dad looks at Phil, who is now pissing his pants. Giant Dad teleports behind Phil and backstabs him. Ah! Phil screams. Giant Dad leans into Phil's ear and whispers, but don't tell anyone you leveled that up, you fucking... I can't say it. Giant Dad kicks Phil to the ground off his Chaos Zweihander. It's time for you to retire streaming, Phil. Giant Dad says, stabbing Phil on the floor with his Zweihander. That's nothing I can do, dude. DSP says, low on health. Giant Dad picks up Phil by the head and throws him across the arena. Goodbye, Phil. Giant Dad says as he walks away from his corpse. Phil slowly closes his eyes. Suddenly, Phil sees a figure in his afterlife. Am I dead? Like, is this a game over screen? Are you God? Phil asks the shadowy figure. No, it's just me. The figure reveals itself. Hideo Kojima? Phil's eyes widen. Fucking Kojima? Phil shouts. Did you make this shitty-ass game? Phil screams. No, Phil, I did not make this game, Kojima explains. Are you just gonna give up? Are you gonna rage quit like you always do? Kojima asks. Yeah, I am. There's nothing I could do. Phil says, looking depressed. Phil, there's something you can do. Kojima walks towards Phil and hands him a katana. This is the HF blade from Metal Gear Rising. With this, you can defeat the legend, Phil. Kojima explains. Huh? Okay, but I'm fucking dead, dude. How can I kill someone when I'm already dead? Phil asks. Kojima laughs and says, just channel your inner Kirito. Suddenly, Phil responds in the middle of Giant Dad practicing his stand-up comedy. And what's the deal with RPGs where people can level up, but you can't heal? Giant Dad asks, trying to set up an unfunny joke. Please, Phil, fucking kill him. The players scream in pain. It's over, Giant Dad, Phil says. Well, what is it, Phil? Giant Dad asks. Phil rushes at the legend at high speed, swinging his katana. Fucking, I can't say that. How am I supposed to use this? Phil asks. You hit him with it, you fucking... I can't say the word. Asuna screams at Phil. Oh, okay. Phil rushes at the legend, avoiding all his black flames. Impossible! You can't escape my LMLG strats! Giant Dad screams. Phil lands 10 hits on the legend. Take this, you ugly face, motherfucker! Phil shouts, sliding off the legend's arm off. Ah, these memes are not enough! I must increase them! Giant Dad glows red and black, pushing Phil back. No, I can't control this! This level of memory is off the charts! Ah! Giant Dad grows large arms out of his back, slowly transforming into something sinister than a father of the giants. Suddenly, the area gets dark and all the players regain control. What the? Where'd he go? And here we have some other YouTube music playing. A giant bootleg Mario fused with Giant Dad appears. He was the size of a skyscraper. Oh no. I had a feeling that there was going to be some sort of Granddad reference in this. Grand Legend, the monster screams. Oh, fuck me, dude. Phil readies his katana and rushes at the monster to attack. Let's end this meme game, Asuna screams as she attacks the monster's head. Flintstones! The monster pounds his fist on the ground, creating shockwaves, knocking down other players. Phil climbs to Dad's back as everyone distracts it. It's over, I'm done with this. Phil climbs to the monster's head and jumps into the air and swoops down, slicing its head off. The monster screams as it spews out blood and memes. Phil! Phil takes a step back after landing the final blow on the meme man. The legend will never die, and neither does the Black Swordsman. He'll be back! The monster explodes, spewing its meme juices everywhere. Suddenly, Phil wakes up out of his coma. What? What happened? Phil says as he closes his eyes. He's cleared SAO. 2 months later. Phil takes a seat on his couch. Alright, so, that was my Sword Art Online stream. Phil takes a deep breath and looks around his room. It was okay. A lot of the people I met were either weebs or assholes, Phil says. Alright, so next time if my Patreon reaches 150 pledges, I'll be playing Alfheim Online and Gun Gale Online. Phil burps and farts. Well, anyway, yeah, see you all next time, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. DSP's stream is offline. Okay, this was badly written, but because this is Darkside Phil, I can forgive it. It was hard to read, but then again, some of that is just the fact that fanfiction.net's interface is kind of hard to read from, so I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5. So bad it's good. It's definitely something worth reading if you are a detractor. So, yeah. This may have been split up into 2 parts. I haven't decided. We'll just see. But if you like what you listen to, please like, comment, subscribe. I have a Patreon account. If you want to donate to it, that's perfectly fine. But it's 100% optional. Same thing with my Ko-fi account. I hope you are all safe. Chances are by the time this gets uploaded, the pandemic will be long gone, but I'm recording this like at the end of April 2020 because I have a lot of time on my hands. And I have some other stories I'm reading that'll be going up much later. So whenever this gets out, I hope you're happy, healthy, safe, and getting on with life. So if you like what you listen to, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. God bless. Peace, Pachman. Bye.